Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to start by saying how touched I am that the Marmara Group Foundation and all the friends the foundation has around the world found the strength and the determination to go on with the summit this year, despite the incredible difficulties that we all face in our different countries and that all the nations in the world actually have to face. Perhaps in this respect, this summit, organized online in Istanbul, is perhaps not the most important of all, but definitely the most meaningful of all. It shows what partnership means. It shows what it means to care about your neighbors, your friends, the people around you who try their best for their country, and it speaks volumes about other values than friendship, like trusting each other, respecting each other, trying to understand what's specific for each of our country, culture, civilization, or political, economic reality. I started to follow your remarkable work 14 years ago, in 2006. So in almost a decade and a half, I had time to see how important the impact of the meetings every year in Istanbul has for our countries. In the last 10 years, the attendance of the summit was significant. You had regularly 400 to 500 personalities joining you for the summit, and the number of countries represented increased to 40 to 45 to 50 sometimes, which covers not only the Asian and the European continents, which actually the summit serves in purpose, but much more than that. So congratulations for this determination and strength and commitment to the values of democracy, of prosperity, of cooperation, international cooperation, and for the willingness to continue to do so. Now, the summit has obviously as a purpose the development of the economies of our countries and their stability, their predictability, their national security, and their capability to create bridges. But the summit also tackles fundamental issues for our times, which is the trust of the nation in those people who govern the country and have the responsibility of administrating our present and our future. He talks also very much about the resources, about the energy. Very often we talk about the young generation and the exceptional creativity and strength and energy that is in their hands, in the hands of the young people. We talk very often about religions, about tolerance, about cultures, about an open society to ideas and to somebody else's views or ideals or dreams or principles. So all that in order to create a stable neighborhood, in order to create predictable behavior of of the people around us in the region and in the whole world. So what happened this year with the unexpected drama that our societies live because of the hit of the COVID-19 is a very good moment to talk and to evaluate about what is difficult in our task, but also about what opportunity we have in this type of crisis to force ourselves to find solutions for the future. And some of these solutions to be not necessarily temporary, but maybe a very good solution for the future, such as our communication online today, to become a common practice for all of us in all our fields of activity. So I would like to remind one issue that I raised several times in the last years in the summit, and that is about the focus on helping the young generation not only to be well educated, to find jobs and to establish themselves from a very early age as important actors in this concept of generations, but also to try and use the extraordinary energy they have, the commitment, the creativity, the thirst of proving themselves, and to use their energy in a good way in their profession, so to build a very strong present, not only a future. In other words, as you all noticed, the age of jobs of responsibility decreased quite a lot in the last 10 to 20 years. I saw in the last decade prime ministers or ministers of foreign affairs or mayors of important towns, all aged under 40, or in some cases in their late 20s. That was inconceivable about 30 or 40 years ago. So the fact that the young generation gets more and more importance in the society and has more and more responsibilities in the world of power, the economic power or the cultural power or the media or the political power, gives a lot of improvement, not only in the predictability of the future, but in the very present times. And my country, Romania, as much as Turkey or I don't know, the countries in the Eastern Europe, the young generation is very prominent. A huge number of people in the demographics of my country are very, very young. So we talk now about part of the society which is constantly increasing. More and more people are relevant at a very early age. And then I think the very strong difficulties that our nations face now because of the pandemics somehow helps us to be more together than before, because we face the same type of threats and the same type of vulnerabilities. The economy of every single one of our countries suffered in these last 6-7 months. The whole of the nation in every country of ours had a very strong psychological challenge. We discovered that social activities are more important than they were before. The generosity of the citizen towards their friends or their family or their neighbors is more important than it was before. International organizations have indeed a role to play, because the government in none of these countries is capable to solve alone the problems that the new crisis brought to our lives. So somehow the people who attend the summit this year, even if they are far away and they communicate through electronic means, they are probably closer to each other than last year or 2 or 3 years ago. And this common tie is brought by the same fears, the same anxiety, the same indecision, incapability to predict what's going to happen. And this type of support is probably one of the gains of this tragic moment of our lives. So I thank you very much for the invitation to address the summit in this very unusual way. I think of you and of the all our friends who will join, like me, the summit from far away, and I wish you all the best for you and for your countries, for your families, and I very much hope to have a next summit in 2021 in Istanbul, and to be all together indeed, like we were in so many years in the past. Thank you.